Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. I want to welcome you to my weekly Wildcard Wednesday video on my blog and YouTube channel. The card designs I share today are a little more technique driven, but nothing too complicated. I also sell the products I feature in this video. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you shop with me. Hello my Stampin' friends. For today's card I am featuring the stamp set Gnome for the holidays. I think it's an absolutely adorable set. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink on a quarter sheet of Whisper White stamping white paper, not the thick stuff. I have the gnome. I stamped his hat twice. I just want the bell on the hat twice. And then I stamped this little girl. I just want her tree, basically. The sentiment that says, "You're a friend like gnome other." And I do have a quarter sheet of Whisper White thick underneath my quarter sheet of Whisper White thin, just for an absorbent material as I'm coloring. I'm going to try to name off the colors. The first color I used for the window was So Saffron, the light. And then I used three colors, Mango Melody, Granny Apple Green, and Poppy Parade for the three colors here that this is kind of like the Christmas theme of it all. And then I went in with Petal Pink for the leaves and his nose and hands, light and dark on his nose. And then I used Gray Granite for his beard, light and dark. And also Gray Granite for the stones and the doorknob. I end up changing that later. Then I'm using Crumb Cake for his boots and for the ground in front of the tree house. And eventually I will lighten that up a little bit, but it comes in a second here. Here is some, dark crumb cake, light crumb cake, and then all over, I color over with the colorless blender, and I let that sit for a while. So now I have Highland Heather, Balmy Blue, and light and dark Balmy Blue, and I'm coloring his gnome outfit and also his hat. So I want this to reflect with the designer series paper that I'm using to matte the focal piece, and that will be Snowflake Splendor. For the Christmas tree, I am coloring the shaded parts with Shaded Spruce, no less, and then coming in with Shaded Spruce Light and coloring and trying to get a nice blend from dark to light. I think I did pretty well. Then this is Cinnamon Cider. This is Cinnamon Cider Dark. Then I move in with Cinnamon Cider Light, and I believe I darken the tree trunk up with Soft Suede, the dark, I believe. And then, so that's Soft Suede. And then I go in with Cinnamon Cider and blend. So you can blend with different families and colorways. For the leaves, I use Pumpkin Pie, Calypso Coral, and I think that was it for the leaves. And then the metal pieces on the bulbs was just Smoky Slate, and the crumb cake for the door. And it was just a really nice blend. I really thought about my shadows and tried to reflect that. I like having them, slightly different. And I don't know, I love coloring. Who doesn't? So I just had fun. Like I said, I'm kind of trying to figure out what colors I used, and it's a little difficult. Okay, here's my trick. I lightened up that whole piece with the colorless blender, so the ground part. So now I'm cutting it and cutting the pieces off together here, and then snap my fingers, boop, and it's all fussy cut. How about that? So now I have a piece of Whisper White sized at 4 1/4 wide by 3 tall, and I have glued my treehouse. I want my gnome to be in the center, and so that's where he's going. And then the Christmas tree I put on double stacked dimensionals to make the Christmas tree really in the forefront. And then I put a touch of glue on his hands. And then I brought in those bells that I fussy cut from the top of his hat as like he was shaking them in celebration of Christmas. Or for his friend who is like no other. I'm not sure. So I have the You're a Friend Like Gnome Other on a piece of dimensional adhesive. And what I'm doing here, this is Pool Party Light, I believe. And I just wanted a very light touch of blue behind those words. So I haven't put the words on there yet because I'm going to put down my Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper on my thick Whisper white card base. Put dimensionals on the back of that center piece right there. And then here are my 3 little words. I cut them apart. No sense in trying to make these straight because they will never go on straight. You will never be happy with them. Accept it and move on. So they're going to be all cattywampus, and that's okay. I'm happy with that because it's kind of a whimsical card anyway. So the final touches here, of course, folding the card with my bone folder, adding, this is Shimmery Crystal Effects. I believe we still sell it. If we don't, you can use the fine tip glue pen. I just happen to have this from last Christmas. I'm pretty sure that you can get it, but don't quote me. So I put that on the bulbs, on the little bulbs on the Christmas tree, on the bulbs on like the bells on his hat and in his hands and on his nose. Wink of Stella on the hat, on the Christmas tree, the window of the tree house. And that is my card for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.